unexpected change in circumstances. Fans have been astonished and enraged by the revelation that Anna Duggar and Josh Duggar are contemplating a divorce. Protracted debates on the Duggar family's traditional views on marriage. The topic of whether the Duggar family's traditional beliefs are finally shifting is raised by reports that Anna is attempting to legally separate from her husband. This is a result of their strong religious beliefs, which see divorce as unthinkable and marriage as a holy, everlasting commitment. Many fans have questioned why Anna, who has always supported Jay, is now talking about getting a divorce. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter for the Duggars? Anna's decision has been influenced by years of public controversy regarding Josh's actions, and rumors suggest that her own family is pressuring her to prioritize her own and her kids' welfare. "I never thought I would find myself in this position," as Anna reportedly said, implying an internal struggle between one's convictions and their need for pleasure. See how the Duggar family deals with this pivotal time, and how Anna's choice puts not only her marriage to the test, but also the core principles they have upheld for years. Critics and admirers are now questioning whether someone who has been taught these ideas for so long can really abandon them. Even in the most firmly held traditions, change may sometimes become unavoidable, as Anna's journey seems to be a turning point for the family. The Duggar family has maintained marriage as a holy and unchangeable institution for many centuries, seeing it as a divine covenant based on traditional Christian beliefs. Because of this, divorce has always been stigmatized in the Duggar circle, and it has been almost impossible to imagine openly splitting from one's marriage. After years of controversy and media attention around her husband, Anna takes a decision that is quite different from her childhood. Even as the hardship on their marriage increased as a result of Josh Duggar's many moral and legal transgressions, Anna remained firm in her belief that marriage should be maintained no matter what. Given that Anna sought separation due to the weight of the situation and the mounting pressure from her parents, it is clear that she has been grappling with the truth of her internal circumstances. The Duggar family has always supported a relationship philosophy that is emotionally and religiously oriented. The Duggar worldview holds that marriage is a legally binding agreement that encompasses more than just a bond between two individuals. Jim, Bob, and Michelle's steadfast conviction that no couple should ever consider divorce, no matter how bad the situation, has shaped the Duggars' reputation. However, Anna's personal grief goes well beyond her marital issues. Throughout the years, she has also endured increasing levels of public humiliation. Many people are curious about how long she could stay true to Josh after the disclosure of his wrongdoing, which resulted in severe criminal accusations. As she copes with her own personal suffering and an overwhelming sense of obligation to uphold the values of her upbringing, her parents, who have similar religious backgrounds, reportedly encouraged her to end the marriage, arguing that the welfare of her and her children should come before rigorous doctrinal adherence. Anna reportedly told a close friend, "I never imagined I'd be in this predicament. I hoped for redemption and begged for change, but I had to realize that remaining was no longer an option." Her remarks highlight the seriousness of her decision, since she comes from a religious culture where divorce is frowned upon. This behavior reflects Faith's internal struggle between putting her happiness first and accepting the challenging reality of her situation. For a while now, the dynamics inside the Duggar family have been changing. Jill and Jinger Duggar Vuolo, two of the more independent siblings, have openly discussed the difficulties they had as children trying to fit in with their parents' rigid religious views. Jill openly addresses the difficulties of abandoning firmly held beliefs and adopting a more personalized approach to faith and marriage in her book. She has been candid about her quest for self-discovery and the emotional and psychological difficulties of deviating from the expectations put on her, as well as openly rejecting certain extreme beliefs. Anna has been indirectly influenced by this readiness to question the existing quo, which has shown to her how one may reinvent one's life while upholding one's religious beliefs. Jinger has also disassociated herself from the fundamental life principles teachings of the Institute, an institution that had a significant influence on the Duggar family's beliefs. She has shown that one does not have to entirely abandon their values by questioning long-held beliefs. Divergent opinions exist even among conservative Christian groups about marriage and divorce. Given their strong opposition to divorce, it is noteworthy that Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar have said nothing about Anna's choice. They will probably be disappointed and disapproving of this development. Marriage breakdown is evolving. even if previous generations believed that unwavering loyalty was the most valuable quality. Younger people are beginning to understand that some relationships are just too broken to mend, despite the Duggar family's outspoken opposition to divorce. In their larger social groups, they are somewhat acquainted with the concept. Conversations about the practicality of such conventional ideas of marriage in today's culture have been triggered by the recent separation of some in-laws and colleagues. The reality is that individuals often have to make difficult choices that contradict their deeply held values, especially in very religious groups. Important issues are raised about religion, individual agency, and the capacity to change one's life in the face of adversity. While some would think that marriage is about making sacrifices and prioritizing the other person, others could see Anna Dew's choice as essential for healing. Although this feeling is consistent with the principles Michelle Duggar has always upheld, it falls short in cases when one spouse has violated the other's safety and confidence. Regardless, it is evident that Anna is prioritizing her children's well-being and her own future, even if some may see this as a departure from biblical principles. Duggar's family, as more members start to doubt the constrictive ideas they were taught, the continuation of their legacy is in doubt. Will the next generation stick to the same principles or adopt a more contemporary approach to relationships and personal fulfillment? The choices made today will surely affect the Dewar family's future for many generations to come. The Duggar family, well known for their reality TV program 19 Kids and Counting, has long piqued the curiosity of both fans and critics. The Duggars are under examination because of their unusual perspectives on marriage and family life. But lately, there has been a noticeable shift in the Duggar family that has caught the public's attention. A well-known family member's divorce has generated a lot of media interest, speculations, and conjecture. We must distinguish reality from fiction and examine the deep marital beliefs that have long characterized the Duggar family's ideology in order to unravel the truth and its ramifications for the Duggar family. Their reality program, which documented their daily life and exposed their deep religious convictions, including their opinions on marriage, family, and romance, helped the Duggars become well known. The program also emphasized their emphasis on humility and their strict devotion to Orthodox Christian doctrine. Traditional gender norms and a dedication to purity were part of their public image, which often provoked discussions about marital sexuality and women's status in society. The core convictions of the Duggars, particularly Michelle and Jim Bob, were that marriage is a holy covenant, a union of a man and a woman, and that divorce must be avoided at all costs. Their children were taught this principle from a young age, and many of them, including the older Duggar children, followed suit, with some preferring organized courtships over traditional dating. Startling split in spite of the family's ardent support for marriage, one of the Dewar children recently announced a divorce, which made headlines. Fans of the Duggars, who are used to their outspoken position on relationships on reality TV, are baffled by this unexpected turn. Although divorce is usually seen as a dramatic and controversial occurrence, in this instance, it seemed to go against the fundamental values the Duggars had long upheld. The parties have not disclosed the reasons for the divorce, but in an interview following the split, they candidly talked about the difficulties they faced in their marriage, demonstrating that not all of the lessons they had learned from the Duggars' public relationship stance had equipped them for the intricacies of real-life relationships. The Duggars had been fostering an image of marital bliss and spiritual sanctity as the world became more aware of the problem. But their openness has drawn praise and condemnation since it contradicts that picture. Many question if the Duggar family's marital lessons were too rigid or unrealistic once it became clear that there were differences in their views on marriage and relationships. For others, the temptation to project a perfect image was too much. On the path to self-actualization, however, some people saw the division as a necessary evil. Examining the Duggar viewpoint on marriage according to the Duggar family's long-standing tradition, marriage is a sacred and unbreakable commitment. Michelle and James. One recurring topic in the Duggars' marriage-related messaging has been their union. They have emphasized that hard effort, trust, and obedience to God's plan are necessary for marriage. Another recurrent subject has been the notion of unconditional love. Marriage represents a commitment to one's family, God, and the community at large, and it goes beyond simple passionate love.